Good morning.
Good morning.
A little 5-minute message here. Bow with me real quick for a word of prayer. Dear Lord, we want to thank you once again for bringing us here this morning, Lord. Just give us a quick word from you, Lord. It doesn't matter how quick it is, Lord. If it's from you, Lord, we know it's something that we need to take to heart, Lord. I pray that we would take it to heart, Lord, and grow by it. Is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, today we want to look at 1 Kings chapter 17, verses 1 through 9. And very briefly, I want to speak to you on this subject. When the brook dries up. When the brook dries up. I'm going to quickly summarize these first 6 verses, and you can read them later on in their entirety for yourself. Okay, so here in 1 Kings, we were introduced to the prophet Elijah. Elijah was sent by God to King Ahab with a message of judgment because of Israel's persistent idolatry. We learned elsewhere in the Bible that the drought that God proclaimed lasted for 3.5 years. After Elijah delivers the message, God tells him to go dwell by the brook called Cherith. And God tells him, I'm going to feed you. I'm going to send ravens to feed you in the morning and in the evening, and you're to drink from this brook. Mm-hmm. So Elijah is walking in obedience, as we see from verse 5, doing what the Lord has commanded him to do. All of his needs are being met. Life is good. But remember, the land is experiencing a time of drought.
Right.
The question is, when there's no rain in a particular area for a long period of time, what's going to happen? It's going to dry up. All the water in the rivers, lakes, streams, brooks, it's going to decrease. Now try to put yourself in Elijah's shoes for a minute. One day you have this overabundance of water. You can drink as much as you want. But eventually, over time, you notice that these water levels are decreasing. I could have sworn that water was a little higher a few weeks ago. A little more time passes and you notice that it's even lower. A few months later, it's barely even covering the rocks on the bottom of the brook. You know you're where you're supposed to be because God told you that that's where he wants you to be.
Right.
But you start to get a little nervous. You start to worry a little bit. Lord, did you notice that my water supply is running low? I'm thankful for the meat and the bread that you provide me and everything, but if I run out of water, I'm going to die.
Right.
And God says, nothing. Soon the water level is so low that you have to dig a hole in the rocks and the mud and let it pool up to get a drink. Lord, hello? Do you see what's happened to the brook? If you don't intervene soon, I'm going to die of thirst. I mean, literally, I'm going to die of thirst. Mm-hmm. And still God says, nothing.
Right.
A little more time passes and you walk down to the brook to see if there's any pockets of water left. You look over here, you look over there, and it's bone dry. Verse 7 says, and it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up because there had been no rain in the land. So you sit down, hang your head in sorrow, and you wait for the inevitable. Well, look at verses 8 and 9. And the word of the Lord came to him, saying, arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Sidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman to sustain thee. At last, God speaks. At last, God intervenes.
Right.
I want you to notice here that it wasn't until after the brook dried up.
Right.
It wasn't until that particular resource was exhausted that God gave Elijah further instructions. So let this just be a little reminder that God knows what he's doing.
Right.
As your father and as you being his child, he knows exactly what it is you need and when it is that you need it. challenge you to make a decision that you're going to trust God no matter how bleak your circumstances may look to you.
Right.
Be confident knowing that He has everything under control, and He will step in at precisely the right moment and make Himself and prove to you that He is Jehovah Jireh, the Lord who provides.
All right.
Amen.